Thoughtful Thursdays, and I want to talk about the Brand World Summit that happened in Mumbai. And the reason for going for the Brand World Summit is a dose of inspiration. I loved how consumer insights gets into branding, marketing, and the overall strategy. And some of the speakers and the way the program is curated is fantastic. My biggest moment and magical moment happened when I was listening to Prasoon Pandey, who started off the event because it was recognizing his brother's effort, which is Piyush Pandey. And I heard Piyush Pandey 3 years ago talking about the magic of creativity. And when I heard Prasoon Pandey, he was talking about his brother and how his brother always pushed the envelope. He was not happy with just being ordinary. And how did those magical moments happen? And there were 2 stories that I want to talk to you about. One is the Vodafone ad, we have always watched it. The boy and the pug going all over, just to bring out the essence in the story of how connection is never lost, right, with Vodafone. And what happened over there? The music. When the team bought that ad together and the music, they used stock music. And Piyush said, "Nahi, maza nahi aa raha hai." And he got them to write the lyrics and write a song for that. And that changed the emotion in the ad. And we'll all remember that because of the song and the way it came together. The second story that he told us about the Fevicol ad. We've watched it many times, but when you understand how it was made, it was like, it just invigorated me. Over there also, Piyush told Prasoon, "No, you've got to do this." Actually, the way Prasoon had put it was a train ad with bunch of people, right? All packed Mumbai train. And it lent itself beautifully on a hoarding. But he said, "Iska ad kaise banayenge? People will know it's a Fevicol ad." Something happened to Prasoon and he borrowed from movie making. He said, "We showed the truck back in the background in Rajasthan." And then he zoomed in and the whole story came together in bits. And when you look at the Fevicol ad, it starts dur se, and as he comes closer, you see bits of the story, and then you see the full picture, and then you see Fevicol. I said, wow. Great advertising, great storytelling, thinking about the brand and how to bring the story alive. That was a magical moment for me. The second thing that, because I'm a founder, entrepreneur, brand new in this process, I love what Sanjeev Mehta said. Ambition and humility goes together. And he said when he was at Unilever, he actually was, he made an app and he thought that it would work well, and, he pushed his team, and, somewhere it just did not work out. Retailers did not accept the app. They were not willing to use it. Then COVID happened. And his team came and said, "Sir, we need to pivot. We need to make changes to this app." And he said, "Yes, go ahead and pivot. It's not that because I need something, I need to hang on to it." So when you learn from leaders, ambition and humility, you should learn that it's all right to pivot. It's all right to say, "Hey, maybe I'm seeing it differently. Maybe there's a blind spot." And that acceptance is, I think, the most brilliant lesson that I learned that day when I was sitting in the audience. The third thing was Someli talking about Thumbs Up. I love the Thumbs Up brand because it is a made in India brand, correct? And she was talking about the brand line, if you remember Thumbs Up, Tufani. And how they used and integrated it into cricket. The Tufani zone. And when I went back and when she told us the story about that, I said, what a brilliant idea to integrate it in cricket. Tufani is something that happens when you're at the stadium. I've seen all my friends who love cricket, right? That just creating that and integrating Tufani into something that's so integral with what India stands for was another lesson. And my fourth one was PNG and Vicks. We've all heard of that Vicks ki goli lo. And I'm sure you're completing it, Kich Kich Dur Karo. And it was the Jayant Kripalani ad. But how does Vicks become relevant to the younger audience? And how PNG used the content creator, Zakir Khan, to bring that alive. And she played that clip where Zakir said, and he said, Vicks ki goli lo, Kich Kich Dur Karo. So just kitsch, which is so integral to the brand, will never get lost. So how a core idea can remain relevant even with the younger generation and the new generation, and using a content creator, using it powerfully, using it sensibly. That's what branding is about today. That's what we can learn from, attending Brand World Summit, where it's curated so well, dose of inspiration, dose of learning and application in the real world. So if you like what I say and you want to know more, reach out to me.